What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. We're back. I know, it feels like it's been a century. The last episode of the podcast was before the season started. Here we are. The season is now over, and we're back on a podcast. But you know what? We don't give up. We do not give up. We come back with a vengeance, and here we are. Super Bowl. Fucking can't do the numbers every time, and I always forget what it is. But the Chiefs have won the Super Bowl for the second year in a row. And your boy was on the right side of history this time. I don't love it, but that's just the facts of the matter. And you know what? It was an all-time classic game, and we are going to get right into it. I'm not going to waste any time. No time at all. I am going to put a clip in at the beginning here. Probably a little intro. And just to kind of give you a sense of how wonderful that finish was for me. But we are going to get right into it. And it was an unbelievable game. It was an unbelievable game. Super Bowl. I should just look it up, dude. Super Bowl LVII. What is that? 58? I think it was 58. Sounds about right. That's weird. It's a high-ass number. Anyway, Kansas City Chiefs 25. San Francisco 49ers 22 in overtime. And you couldn't have wrote a better script. For all those people out there saying the NFL is rigged, there's an NFL script writer. You know what? Good job. He did a great job. It was a phenomenal game. I don't care if that was written by a script, other than the fact that the Chiefs won, but I was on the right side of it. So I can't even complain. I had some incentive on the Chiefs winning that game. So you know what? I can't really complain about it. It was a great script. First half of this game starts out as a clunker, an absolute clunker, not for a ball guy like myself. For the ball guys, it was a do you like ball, do you know ball type of first half. It was gritty, it was hard-nosed, running the football, lots of mistakes, 2 fumbles in the first quarter, I believe. Maybe it was the start of the second quarter, but right away, you got McCaffrey as the 49ers looked unstoppable on the first drive. They go right down the field, fumble, give it back to the Chiefs, who looked terrible in the first half as well. And they go back down. They get the big play to Hardman. I don't know if that was later on. I feel like it was the next drive, but I don't know. You know how Super Bowl can be. There's a lot going on, and I get the timeline a little bit mixed up. But they get the big play down to Hardman, and Pacheco fumbles going in. I think, you know what, now that I go back, that's after the touchdown. But just from the outset, immediately as this game went, and I've seen a lot of the reaction online, but for me personally, I felt like I was fucked from the beginning. The 49ers defense was flying around. They were swarming to the football. Fred Warner was everywhere. There was a moment in the beginning of this game where you could have made an argument that Tariq Armstead would have been the goddamn MVP of the Super Bowl. I just want to make sure I got that name right. Eric Armstead. I'm so sorry, Eric. I know you will see this, so I know you're already super mad about it, but I'm going to throw that apology out, in the Spaceballs chance that you actually did, because I'm not trying to be a bitch. You know what I mean? I just got your name fucked up. My bad. But anyway, Eric Armstead was a monster. Chase Young had a sack. The defense was doing everything that you could have possibly wanted. The Chiefs looked like they couldn't get a thing going. They were having a hard time running the football, and they did really for a lot of the game, but especially in the first half, they couldn't run the football. The Niners just looked like the better team for about 3/4 of this football game. And if you're a 49ers fan, that's killing you. It's absolutely killing you. And I want to start by talking about them because, the narrative coming in was Brock Purdy. Could he do it? Is he a game manager or whatever? I'm so tired of this freaking narrative. It's the dumbest argument ever. It's just something to fill time. Everyone with a pulse and a brain knows this. But the guy is good at football. He was just drafted low. So for whatever reason, the people like to cover their ass when they're wrong, even though being in the media is essentially about saying things that end up being wrong 90% of the time anyway. So I don't understand the obsession with trying to cover yourself when you say something that's incorrect. Why not just say you were fucking wrong? I do it literally every day. It's fine. Who cares? Wrong all the time, baby. Let's get better next time. Guess what? Not everything you say in a prediction setting is going to be 100% true all the fucking time. But regardless, the guy is good at football. And he played a near impeccable first half. There was a couple plays where if the 49ers would have won this game, there was about 5 or 6 plays that Brock Purdy made with his legs to extend in the pocket. You know, in the overtime drive, not to get ahead of ourselves, but in overtime, you know, he made that great play to escape and find Juszczyk for the Dez caught it ball. There was an argument you could make for him being maybe MVP if they had scored a touchdown on a touchdown pass at the end of that game. But he was very, very good. Very good. They were killing the Chiefs with those little kind of intermediate passes. Ayuk got hit. I feel like every time Ayuk got a ball, it was on a 12-yard in-breaker that they kind of just sat right in front of the defense at that middle zone. They were running the ball not as well as they had all year, but if you look at the stats, by the end of the game, McCaffrey still had 80 yards on the ground on 22 carries, but still 80 yards on the ground is more than effective. He had 80 yards in the pass game as well. But as this game was going on, to me, this was the only game where it was like, this is fine. This may be it for the Chiefs. They might actually lose this game. And if you go back, they throw the double pass or the backwards pass. The Juwan Jennings throws a pass to Christian McCaffrey. He takes it in for the touchdown. I have never seen a single pass take longer to go from one side of the field to the other. It was in the air for what felt like a minute and a half. And McCaffrey gets it. It's the slowest fake ever. They go all the way back across the field. He makes a great play, goes in the end zone, 10-3, just like, or 10-0, I guess, maybe at that point. Great journalism here, the fact that I'm just amazing on the Gamecast. But anyway, that's no excuse. They played a great game. And they had a good game plan pretty much the entire way until overtime, but we will get there. First half, God, dude, it's been a while. Can you tell? I'm a fucking A+ podcaster at this point? Regardless, Jesus Lord. Second half of the game, I'm not even going to waste more time than that because there wasn't a lot to go off of in the first half. But as the second half rolled on, the game started to be an instant classic. But not at first. Like I said, they come out, Mahomes throws a pick to start the second half, and I'm shaking in my boots. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm the sucker. I did bet him. I kept betting him, kept taking him. I don't know how, if you're, looking back on it, of course, how do you not take him as a dog in the Super Bowl? I wasn't going to be that guy. I wasn't going to be the guy that passed that opportunity up. So I'm sitting there thinking this might be after taking him 3 games in a row, I may have been screwed. I may not be able to have this go my way one more time. They throw the pick. It was a bad ball, too. I think it was Kelsey underneath it who's wide open, and he just misses him. He steps up in the pocket, kind of throws it over his head, and they get that pick. But the Niners they don't score until late. The Moody extra point that got blocked did not win this game for the Chiefs by any means, but without it, they do not win this football game. And I'm not hearing it be talked about enough. I don't know if it was a bad snap, but it was a low kick for sure. The big boy in the middle got his big paw up there, blocked it, and the man, just woof, it's like a humpback whale. I love a punt or a field goal block like that. It's like a humpback whale just going reaching. And there's no way you can pass that big flap, It's not going anywhere. The ball is just going to hit it, bounce off, and you move on for another day. So that kept it a 3-point ball game for them, and it eventually ended up being massive. The fumbled punt. Up until, so I mentioned that, about 3/4 of this game, I just felt absolutely screwed. Nothing was going right for them until the punt goes off a guy's leg. Mecole Hardman doesn't dive on it. Chiefs get the ball. They score the next play right away. MVS. Check it off. Count it. Big night for the boy. And at that moment, everyone knew the inevitable. At that moment, everyone finally knew the inevitable, and they started to roll. But the 49ers defense fought. I mean, they got the sack at the end of the game to force the field goal, and it goes into overtime. Guys, I was very, very nervous. Everyone watches the Super Bowl because it's a national event at this point, and I love a Super Bowl party. I like being with friends, being with family, eating food. Had a good time. But there are certain moments when you have a large financial investment on the outcome of the game that you don't need anybody talking in your ear about relationships, birthdays, cycles. That's not what I meant to say. Might have to cut that. Anyway, not cycles. I meant like astrology. You don't need someone talking about, how's school going? You're not thinking about that right now. All you're doing is trying to lock in on the events that are unfolding in front of you because you're dying. You're living your life on the line. Someone's thrown a grenade out, and you're running to jump on top of it to try to save your soul. And everyone else is whoop, 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 talking. There's conversations here, conversations there. Sorry, everyone. I hope your ears are okay. There's conversations there. You don't know what's going on. You're trying to focus on Tony Romo going, oh, God. Oh, there it is. Whoa, Jim. Oh, Travis. Oh, God. Kelsey. Only Mahomes. You got to fight through that. That shit sucks enough. You don't need all the other distractions going on. But nonetheless, I'm sitting in one corner. I was next to my girlfriend. I get it. Fucking this guy Fox, we get it. Anyway, next to my girlfriend, nothing good is going on. And bless her heart, I told her I put a wager on this game. I get yelled at for a $5 parlay, and I did a little bit bigger of a little play for this game, let me just say. And because it was on the Chiefs and Travis Kelsey, it was absolutely okay. But bless her heart, she was not helping me. The luck was not with me when I was on that side of the room. Had to get to the other side of the room. Still love you. But I had to get to the other side of the room. I'm sitting in a corner. We call it the psych ward. There's a high top table, and you got to check in sometimes. So I checked into the psych ward. Good things starting to happen. There's the fumble, like I said earlier, 10-6. They have a lead, MVS. Now we got the ball rolling, and now we get to overtime, and we're fighting. And Kyle Shanahan has proven time and time again that while he's a great coach, he cannot win the big game. He can't do it. He won't do it. He probably won't do it ever. It started with 28-3. Jimmy G, that comeback game they lost up 10. They just lost up 10 again. And with the new overtime rules where the opponent is the one that caused the rule change, you don't understand in the biggest game of your life with more than a chance to win the game that you are going to get the ball no matter what happens. The team on the other side is the one who changed the rules. I don't understand how not a single person on that team went up to Shanahan and went, look, dude, the game is not over regardless of how many points we score right here. The game's not over. And you talk to, I believe they came out and said afterwards that Andy already said they were going to go for 2 if the 49ers had scored first, that the Chiefs would have gone for 2 to win the game. So the Chiefs were prepared. The 49ers were not. Andy Reid does it again. A couple phenomenal calls that caused the win in this game. Number 1, the 4th and 1, they do the read option after Pacheco gets stopped on the 3rd and short again. They did it all game. He got stuffed out of shotgun in that play. I don't know why they run it, but on 4th down, they do the read option. Mahomes scampers out to the right side and gets about 10. They hit it one more time earlier as they were on the, in the 4th quarter. They hit Mahomes on it for about 20 plus, and they didn't bring it back out, as far as I remember, until that play on the 4th and 1. They get it with ease. They get Kelsey down the left sideline for a big play. They hit him again. He almost gets in. And, of course, who else? Mecole Hardman, the Jet. Shout out to the Jets. Shout out to the Jets. Shout out to my girlfriend. Big Jets fan. Gave Mecole Hardman back to the Chiefs so they could win the Super Bowl. So shout out her. Shout out the Jets. And that they even got the I just would feel so sick to my stomach if I was a 49ers fan. They even got the holding call to bail them out. They didn't get the 3rd down on the first time. They get the holding call. I was thinking about Dee Ford. My heart was sinking. I was dying. And they only get 3. And you can't do that with Mahomes. Mahomes he's unthinkable. 3 Super Bowls in 6 years, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, 2-time NFL MVP for the regular season, 3-time All-Pro, 6 Pro Bowls, meaning every year he's been a starter, he's been a Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL touchdown passing leader, and now he has the NFL record of 5,600 total yards in a season. I mean, the guy is unbelievable, and you know what? As a fan of an AFC team, go Steelers. It's hard to have hope right now because the guy is going to be there every single year. He has to. Kyle Shanahan loses in a big game again. You got to be sick to yourself if you're a 49ers fan. They did everything they could. The game was there for the winning. The Chiefs looked awful. I don't know what else to say. But what a finish. What a game. We were due. We have had a couple snoozers out of the last couple. The last game with the Eagles was a great game, but the holding at the end was a shit ass ending, and all kind of left a bad taste in our mouth. I will say the refereeing in this game was maybe the best officiating that I saw the entire playoff. So shout out to the NFL for getting that right, because there was some sticky coverage. There was a lot of physical play downfield. They did not call a lot of flags. The holding that I mentioned to bail them out and bail the 49ers out in overtime was a clear hold. There was not a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. Juszczyk had as I mentioned earlier, the Dez caught it situation, and they got the call right. I couldn't help but think about how Jesse James did not get the call. Call me salty, call me upset. I don't care. It's been this long. I'm still upset about it. I will forever be upset about it. And there's part of me that almost wants Mahomes to be the greatest ever because I hate Tom Brady so much. Because if the Steelers start being if they're ass for 10 years and Mahomes becomes the greatest quarterback ever, which I'm sure people are already saying that he is. It's hard to argue with how fast he's done all the things he's done, but there's still a long way to go, so we'll see. If he becomes the clear greatest of all time, I'm almost here for it because I fucking hate Tom Brady so much. He is the reason the Steelers were not Super Bowl champions more in my lifetime. And I still will hate him to the death of me. So, you know what? If Mahomes is better, so be it. Now, with that being said, now that they're over, now that I have won, now that the Chiefs have won, I can go back to hating them. Fuck the Chiefs. They suck. I hate Mahomes. I hate Travis Kelce. Can we just say Travis Kelce is the most unlikable person on the planet Earth? I don't know how people like him. He does he gets on the microphone and just does the yelling into the universe like, you guys are yeah. He's the cheesiest motherfucker on the planet Earth. Good for him he has Taylor Swift, because as much as Taylor Swift is an absolute superstar, and the fact that you would be like, oh, I'm dating Taylor Swift, who are you dating? That's something to say for. But most men on the face of the earth don't care that you're actually dating Taylor Swift. They don't really want to be themselves. A lot going on there. Also, not a big fan. So I don't know how he's gotten her. I don't know. There was a moment where she's like rubbing his belly after the game, and it looks like she's just mummified by the ick, which she should be, because he's the worst. Mr. Pfizer yelling at Andy Reid. Now, I mean, that's a competitor thing. I think that's getting blown out of proportion. I saw one on Twitter last night that was, X. Saw it on X. That was the picture of him yelling at Andy, and it said, "You were the." It said, "Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps." That was funny. That made me laugh a lot. Yeah, I only have a couple more notes on this game, just because this is the first pod in a while, and your boy is bad. This is a bad podcast. You should not listen to this, but here we are. The combination in the Taylor Swift box, Taylor Swift, Ice Spice, Blake Lively. I don't think if you threw 1,000 names in a hat, shook them up, and pulled out 3 in a row, you would never get that combination. And when they won, it was the most like, I don't know what's going on here, but we're happy moment I've ever seen. I've seen Ice Spice in a couple interviews all of a sudden. Ice Spice seems like a smart, I mean, obviously she's not dumb. She's a giant fucking star, and her music is pretty good. Whatever, pretty good. She puts on the brr, da da da, whatever, blah blah, like her brand shit, and you can see her snap out of it and forget that she's supposed to do that sometimes, because it'll be like an NPC. Like, she was just, when they won, it's like, no one reacts like that. No one reacts like that. You can go, oh, be excited, you know what I mean? Like, have a moment, have a human interaction. But no, it's, of course, it's the Taylor Swift box. Everyone in there is there to please her and make her happy. So you can't knock them too much for that. I have one note, like I was saying earlier, and I'm going to get back on it. Super Bowl parties. They are really, really fun. They are really fun. But for a YKB boy, a self-proclaimed YKB boy, I think maybe next year I might have a small gathering and not a big one. Because all I really want to do is eat, drink, and watch the game. And like I was saying before, there's just some times where you need to lock in and you can't, because there's so much going on. And I had a good time at ours. We had a great time. A lot of good food. But man, it is a hostile environment for trying to actually watch football. A hostile environment. Also, the commercial. What happened to the fucking Super Bowl commercials? They suck now. They're horrible. Michael Cera was kind of funny, but other than that, I really don't even remember a single one. I remember RFK, which apparently they didn't want to run. It was against RFK. I couldn't hear it. I just saw it, so I thought it was for him, but I guess it's not. Saw that on Twitter this morning. I remember Volkswagen being like, remember all these great cars we used to make? Now you should buy this shitty electric one that we have. That was a weird commercial. Usher was cool. Good performance from Usher. Shout out to Usher. He did get the nip slip, so I'm sure there's a lot of people who are funny in that one. Lots of fun. What the hell was that? I don't even know what the fuck that was. Great podcasting right here, just messing with some shit that flies out of my hand. A lot of fun prop bets. Purple Gatorade hit again, to my chagrin. I'll never hit I'm convinced for the rest of my life I'll never hit a Super Bowl square. I had one opportunity for the Eagles-Patriots Super Bowl, and because of the Philly special, I didn't hit on it. So I think after that moment, I will never hit on a square ever again. Never. I think it's a waste of money that I do every year because it's fun, but I will never win. I will keep trying, but I will never win. And it's just I love the Super Bowl, but I'm sad. Football is over, guys. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do, but I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? I'm just depressed. It's starting to hit me that is not going to be on, and the XFL will come on, and it's fine, or whatever the hell it's called now, USX at BYFL, whatever the fuck it is. It's not going to be fun, dude. And now we just get to sit and ponder what could be for 6 months or whatever it is until August comes around, and then we get the preseason, and we're like, oh, football, maybe our team's going to be good, and then they'll probably be terrible again because the Steelers are apparently looking into signing Ryan Tannehill, which I will cease to exist if that happens. So I'm like not even focused on that. I'm just sad that we won't have this in our lives for a while because it will be missed. It will be missed dearly. Couple shout outs. One, gotta shout out Bree. She's now filmed 2 of my reactions to some big bets. Completely on her own. Didn't even ask her to do it, but she was right there ready. And I think they were fun. I've got them up on my socials if you want to go check those out. And I'm going to put the one in the beginning of the video so you've already seen it. But shout out to her. Also, shout out to my mom who texted me and said she was rooting against me, but she hoped that I won a bunch of money. And then was talking shit the whole time when the Chiefs were losing. And I got the last laugh. So love you, Mom. Thanks for that. Thanks for the motivation, to get in my ear, get in my head. I needed it. Honestly. The Chiefs needed it because they were looking terrible, so they needed that motivation. Last thing I'm going to talk about, and I almost should do a full pod on this, but boys, I have calculated something that I've been wanting for a long time. The system. What do those words mean? To the uneducated ear, you may not know what those words mean. But really, for us that gamble for no reason, the system is something that you dream about. You need a system. Everyone needs to have one great system in their life, and I might have found it. College basketball, they say, is the most profitable sport to bet on because there's so many teams, so many games. And let me tell you something. I don't know anything about college basketball other than they're just kids. They miss a lot of shots or they make a lot of shots. You never really know what's going to happen. But I have a system, and it's been rock solid, rock solid. Saturday, we went 4-0 on the system. That's how good it was. And it's been good for the last couple of weeks. Get in while you can because this system will not last long. March is coming. And once these teams get seeded into conference tournaments, it's all over. You won't be able to use it anymore. So get ready. This is what it is. If there is a game where a top 10 team travels on the road, to play an unranked opponent, you take the unranked opponent outright and against the spread. Outright, not great. Against the spread, hard to beat. Hard to beat. We had Miami. We had Cincinnati cover. We had Texas A&M absolutely throttle Tennessee this weekend. And we had Colorado beat Arizona. We had Michigan State beat Illinois. And some of these games I didn't even take because the lines don't even make any sense. But to be quite honest with you, there's a lot to be made out there. There's a lot to be made, and I'm really proud of myself because I looked up one day. I'm sitting there going, it seems like every time I watch a highlight of college basketball, it's a good team losing to a shit team, and apparently that happens a lot. So that's the system, and it's been doing good. So if you want to ride the system with me this week, we got a big week of games in college basketball, I'm sure. Let's just take a look here. Great podcasting. Great podcasting. Here we go. So, no system plays on Monday. Tuesday. You got number 4. Mother of God. What is this website doing? Tuesday, you got Marquette traveling to Butler. What is going on here? Dude, technology is going to make me insanely upset. Marquette, number 4, traveling to Butler. That's a system play. North Carolina, number 7, traveling to Syracuse. That's a system play. Iowa State, number 10 overall, going to Cincinnati. That's a system play. We have those. So that's 3 system plays just on Tuesday night. Wednesday. God, dude, I love when the internet works. These companies, they make me pay an exorbitant amount for high-speed internet, and it never works. It never works when I want it to. Can we just we can do all these things? We put a man on the moon in 1960, and now we can't get high-quality internet for a low price. We can't do that. God damn! Not everyone can pay $3 million for the top package at Charter or goddamn Spectrum or whatever the hell it's called now these days, or pay for Verizon or whatever the fuck. Tennessee at Arkansas on Wednesday. UConn at DePaul. I'm not gonna give that out because UConn as the number 1 team, they are murdering people right now, and that I'm not counting them because they're too good. They murdered someone in that spot the other day. But everyone else can get it. So let's see. Thursday doesn't seem to be anything. But anyway, you get the point. The system works. Try it out. See what you think. Ride with me. I need riders. I need people to help. Get the word out about the system. Spread it around. Let's look at Saturday because Saturday usually has the best slate on the planet Earth. If this freaking website would update. So there's a lot of probably perceivably home favorites. See, number 3, Houston there at home. Number 9, Duke at Florida State. That will be a system play. There's so many games in college basketball. It's crazy. Kansas at Oklahoma is not a system play. All right, so Saturday, I take it back, not a lot. But Tuesday, big night for the system. Let's see if we can keep it going. 3 plays on Tuesday. I'm excited. But we'll see what we can do moving forward. And I'm just glad to be back on the pod. Life has gotten in the way a lot for me, which is not an excuse. So I need to get back doing this because clearly this is garbage. This is really bad podcasting. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed what I had to do. I didn't even make it. I probably didn't make you laugh in 45 minutes. So, if you did and I was wrong, tell me about it in the comments. Give me a like, subscribe, follow me on all the socials. I'm over on TikTok at ImJustSayin.pod, I believe, or ImJustSayinPod on TikTok, or ImJustSayin.pod on Instagram, and maybe one of the other. Trying to post over there a lot more too, and have them come over here and you guys go over there. So vice versa. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you taking your time out of my day. Shout out to Professor Curry and Professor Masters. I was hungover this morning, so I didn't come to class. That's on me. I'll be better next time. And there also won't be a Super Bowl next Sunday. So you have that looking up for you, and so do I. Not because I actually not for me. I want there to be a Super Bowl every week. But then again, then the Super Bowl wouldn't be the Super Bowl. I'm just sad. We don't have football for a while. But I'm excited to get back with you guys. So let's keep the system going. Let's see if college basketball can be good for us as a good bridge to maybe get us into baseball and hockey at the end of the year, basketball end of the year, before we hit the dead zone for a couple of months. I hope you guys had a great weekend, a great Super Bowl, and I hope that you have a great week going forward. I'll see you again soon. Thank you for taking your time out of the day to listen to this garbage. Everyone, go play the system. Go win some money. I love you all. Bye.